Good afternoon, guys. I hope you're doing fine. So today, Mama Soran is here with us, but he's a bit busy. So I will be explaining today's session. Um, Today we will be taking query. So after table, we have query. So what is a query? Let's read the booklet a bit, and then we will go to practice it together. So the real power of a relational database. Mijda, you can write down your whatever you have in the chat, please. Okay. The real power of a relational database is in the ability to quickly retrieve and analyze your data by running a query. Queries allow you to pull information from one or more tables based on a set of search conditions you define. So basically, query, it makes things so much easier because we know if we have a table, for example, if you have a table or more than a table and you want to get some of the information from the table or from both of the tables, query will make that easier for us. It will show us exactly what we need in a different um, database sheet. So what are queries? Query allows you to combine information from different tables, as I said, and display that information in one easy to view data sheet. Queries are questions you ask of your database. They allow you to select certain fields out of the table or pull together data from various related tables and display it together. As I said, it's like it gives us the ability to copy or like filter some of the data we want from a table, or for example, we want to combine several fields or records from one table with another table and show it in one different data sheet. We can do that using table. Oops, sorry. Yeah, 212. Okay. Queries are questions you ask. We said that. Um, Queries are questions you ask your database, and they allow you to select certain fields out of a table or pull together data from various related tables and display it together. Queries can be used to perform calculations and edit the data in your tables. So another thing that query makes it easier for us, or it allows us to do, is using functions and formulas. So we know that in table, we did have validation rules, but we didn't actually have functions or formulas we could enter for one field or for several ones. Okay. Queries can also form the basis of forms and reports. It makes it so much easier to display our reports or forms later on based on what we need to be shown in them. Um, and queries are a way of searching for data and compiling data from one or more tables. Running a query is like asking a detailed questions of your database, exactly because you are going to um, select what you want what to be shown or what to be calculated. A query can be used for selection of information in one or several tables, just like filtering, and mathematical and logical actions and wildcards are used to establish criteria. The result of a query can be displayed in a data table, form, and report views. So the result of a query, it could be either shown in a table or in a form or a report. So what is the purpose of queries in Microsoft Access? What is the main goal? The purpose of a query is to display several tables of information onto one data sheet. The specific information you want to be shown can be placed onto the query. So as we said, the fields or the data that we choose from one table or from several tables or even from several queries, it will show us on a different new data sheet. The most basic query is the select query. The select queries are look like shopping. So we have this photo. So we know that the most basic query is the select query. We're gonna take this one, but in real life, this is what it's gonna look like. So we have table one. These are the datas in it, and we have table two. These are the datas in it. For example, this part, these are, let's say, um, juice. And from this side, we have cola, we have carrots, and we have milk and ketchups. So this is table 1 and this is table 2, and for our query we can say we got some of the juices from this table and we got some of the colas and the carrot from this table. So now we have this query that contains information or data from table 1 and table 2 according to what we needed. So now that we have a slight idea about what query is, we're gonna go on our database access. I'm gonna be working on the same the quiz question that I brought for you. One second. Mijda, away quizaka. We're gonna discuss that later on. Now we are going to focus on access, okay? You can remind me later on once we're finished. Okay, so I'm gonna delete these queries because we did this this morning, I mean. Yes. Okay. Let me add several more information. 004. Let the age be 25. Let's have a 23 as well. One duplicate here. Salary 150. It doesn't matter. Divorced. Let this be widow. Okay. Okay, so now we have this table with these information. If I want to create query, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to, now I'm currently on home tab. I'm gonna go to create. And what do we have? We have query wizard. So today we're only gonna take query wizard. Tomorrow we can take a query design, but today we're gonna be focusing on the query wizard. So you can see there's a magic wand on it, and the name itself, it says query wizard. Wizard is like someone with the magical power, just like in Cinderella we have it, and Harry Potter we have it. So okay, we have 4 options here. We have simple query wizard. So as we took here, it said you remember it said the most basic query is the select query, and this is what it's gonna look like. Now let's go back here. Okay. We have simple query, and it says what? This wizard creates a select query. So this is a type of select query, and we said this is the simplest and the most basic one. We're gonna first take this one. I'm gonna click on OK. What do I have? It says tables or queries. You're gonna be able to select from here. I only have one table, so it selected it for me, which is my table. And we have available fields and we have selected fields. So now I'm gonna choose which fields I want to be seen or to be shown in my new data sheet. So for example, if you were asked to make a new data sheet using, but you want to show only what? The ID. I'm gonna click on here. I want the name as well. I want the salary and I want the tax as well. This is enough. For example, in the new data sheet, I only want to see these fields. I don't want the others. So I'm gonna select them and then I'm gonna click on next. And it says details, show every field or every record. I don't want any calculation right now. I only want to see those 4 fields. So I'm gonna click on next. And this is the name of the query. So I'm gonna, I can write my table query just like how it is, or I can say my table query without calculations. Open the query view information. I'm just gonna finish it like this. So now you can see this is my table query without the calculation. It shows me what? It's gonna only show me ID, name, salary, and tax as I selected it. Is it clear so far? Okay, that's good. So this time I'm gonna use the same thing, but this time maybe I want to calculate the average or the maximum of the salary. We're gonna try that too. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna keep this here because I wrote this is a query without calculation. This time I'm gonna name it with calculation. I'm gonna close these. I'm gonna go back on query wizard, simple query wizard. The same thing. This time you can see I have the query as well, but I still want to work on my table. Okay, I'm gonna select the same things: ID, name, salary, and tax. Next. This time, because I said I want maybe some calculation, I'm gonna click on summary and I have summary options. You can see now it's gonna show me the fields that contain numbers because we have what? We have calculations over here. Okay, so if I want from the salary to show me the average salaries for each person, I'm gonna click on, this is salary field. I'm gonna click on average. So then I'm gonna click on OK and then next. And this time I'm gonna say, name it what? My table query with calculations. Finish. Okay. Now you can see what it's gonna show me ID, name, tax, but this time average of salary because I clicked on the average. I wanted to see the average salary. Okay. So this is for simple query wizard. Now let's go to the next one. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna go on crosstab query wizard. So it says what? This wizard creates a crosstab query that displays data in a compact spreadsheet-like format. I'm gonna click on OK. So now you can see I can choose from tables or from queries or from both. But I like to work only on my table. So I'm gonna click on table. Then I'm gonna click on next. It says what? Which fields value do you want as row headings? So you can see I'm gonna have, for example, one of the fields as a header, another one as the second header, and as the third header. I can only select 3 fields here to be shown as row headings, not more than 3. You can choose less than 3, but not more than 3. For example, if I want ID to be shown, I want the name and maybe the age as well. You can see ID is going to be the row heading, name row heading, and the age is going to be the row heading. Next. And you can see here now it is disabled because the maximum number you can choose is 3. If I choose 2, you can see it is enabled again. Okay, I want the ID to be first, name, and then age. Next. Now, it says, which fields value do you want as a column heading? Now I can choose one of these fields to be shown as a column heading. How about we go with maybe experienced? Now you can see we had 2 options. We had experienced and non-experienced. So the experience, instead of to be shown like this, is going to be shown like this in this direction. Okay, because it's going to be put as column headings. Next. And now I can add a calculation if I want. for each experience, what would I want? For example, if I want the salary, I wanted, or maybe the salary, why not? And I'm gonna take the average salary. Next, and finish. I named it the same thing as it did. It named it my crosstab and my table crosstab. Now what you can see, we have the ID, the name, the age, and this is the total of the salary because I wanted the and by the way, this field is gonna be added automatically. I didn't choose this one. But here you can see this is -1, it means not experienced, and 0, it means experienced. And these are, you can see these numbers, they are the average salaries. Okay. Is this kind of confusing? Do you want me to do it again? Or is it clear? So for this type of query, it's like I kind of play with the place of the rows and the headings, and I choose the calculations that I want and what to be shown. Should I explain it again? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this one. Okay. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Query Wizard, Crosstab Wizard. Okay, this time I'm gonna do something else. The same thing, I'm gonna select my tables. I'm gonna add ID and name. This time I'm gonna choose only 2 row headings. Next, for the column heading, let it be the marital status. We have divorce, we have single, we have widowed, we have married, okay? And what calculation do I want? Maybe the age. I'm gonna select count for me. Next, finish. Okay, now you can see for the row heading, I only chose ID and name. Okay, and for the total age, I said this one, it will be added automatically. So these are the marital status. We have divorced, married, single, widow. What does it mean? Here we have only one in single. It means Ari, he's single, okay? And because I clicked on the calculation, the function to be count. So Linda, now that I look at here, she's divorced because there's one in the divorce part. And we have Zana, he's married. We have Lana, she's divorced, and Sana, she's a widow. This is, for example, so what did I do? I said for the function or for the calculation, do the age field for me, but for the function to be used is to use count. So this field, which I use for the function, it will be added automatically and it will write for us total of the field that you're going to be using here. So it will be writing it right here, the total of it. Lali Khan, it is limited by Microsoft Access. It does not allow us to use more than 3 because it will be too much then, too much information. Okay, I'm gonna أولين افتهمتي لو بعربي تريدين؟ I can do it again. Sorry, I have to close this. Okay, I will do it one more time for the total age. I think Salman didn't understand it, where it came from. So I'm gonna select the same things. We have cross-tab query, okay. I'm gonna select tables. It has already selected my table. Next, I chose for the row headings, ID and name. And for the column heading, I chose age. No, I chose my marital status, okay. And this is where the total age will come from. Here it says what number do you want calculated for each column and row intersection, like for the marital status? What do you want to be calculated here? If I'm gonna go with age, and then I chose count how many people I have with this age. Um, First, before starting this part, it will add a column right here. It will say the total of age. This is where the total of age came from because I chose the age field. Okay, next, let's look at it. Now you can see this column. I think you chose, instead of the age, you chose salary, Sana, that's why. Okay, so now that I hope it's clear. If it's not clear, I can repeat it again. I don't mind. Um, but okay, let's come to find duplicate query. So we took the first type of queries. You can see now queries so far that we took it makes filtering or playing with your data easier. So let's come to find duplicates query wizard. So the name itself, it says find duplicates. What does it mean? What did duplicate mean, guys? Can you tell me in the chat? Yes, very good. Okay, very, very good. It means dubara or something that repeats. متكرر, تمام? Okay, Babinas, let's come to our table. We can see in the codes, we don't have duplicates. In the name, we don't have duplicates. But in the age, we have 23 and 23. So here we have duplicates. We can use the query to find us this duplicate. Okay, so I'm going to go on query wizard. I'm going to select find duplicates. Okay. What is gonna, I have what again? I have tables, I have queries, I have both. In both, it's gonna show me table and queries, but I just wanna still work on my table. So I'm gonna go with my table. Next. Okay, it says what? Which fields might contain duplicate information? We said the age, it contains duplicates and I want to find it. I'm gonna select age. Okay, duplicate value fields. Next. Okay, it says additional query fields. It says, okay, we're gonna find you the duplicates in the age, but you might need something else. Maybe, of course, if I only select the age, it will only show me what? It will bring me 23 and 23, but we don't know 23 is for which person. So what should we use? We can add the ID and the name because we will know the ID of the person and the name as well of the duplicates. Next. This is the name. It's up to me, but I think duplicated ages. I'm gonna name it this one. Query. Finish. Now you can see we have the age 23 and 23. It belongs to who? This is the ID of the first and the name, and this is the ID of the second and the name. It is easy, right? We can try it for something else. We can go back on our table. Let's see. We have in the salary as well, we have duplicates. We have 100 here and 100 here, right? So we can do another one. Let's go find duplicate query wizard. My table, I'm gonna select. This time the duplicate is in the salary. I'm gonna click on it. Next, I might need the name, ID, name, and let's have the age as well. Next, and duplicated salary query. Finish. Okay, now it's gonna show me what? First, it's gonna show me the salary. So the 100 euro and the 100 euro was duplicated. These are the codes and these are the names and the ages as well because I selected ages this time. Okay. So now that is clear, let's come to the last type of query. But for this query, um, we should have two tables or a table and a query or two queries. I like to work on tables. So now I'm gonna create another table. Okay, so the idea of uh, unmatched is almost the opposite of duplicates. Okay, so I'm gonna make a table that is gonna be like, yes, my table number 2. Um, wait a second. Rename. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just create it and then okay. It's fine. It's because of this one. Mm, okay, why did this happen? Okay. So I think it's given me an error because I'm just gonna delete this field. We don't need it. Okay. Mm, fine. Linda. Mm-hmm. Who else? Sana. Fine. Lana and Sana. Okay. So instead of Sana, let's have some other name. Um, let's have Juan. Married. Let's give her. We can actually just delete these. We don't need them, to be honest. Yes. But I want the age to be the same. 19, 23, 28. 21. Okay, so what did I do here? UOS. Okay, it will allow us to 4 and 6. It's fine. So I'm trying to make something. For example, the names here, they're the same except for the last one. Here is Juan, but here is what? It's Sana. Let me quickly save this. And now I'm gonna use what? I'm gonna use the unmatched query. I'm gonna go find unmatched query wizard. Okay, but first let me close tables. Yes. I'm gonna name it my table 2. Okay. Find unmatched query. I'm gonna select the first table, which is my table. I want to know which value in my first table is not matched or is not duplicate in the second table. Okay, so first I'm gonna select my first table, which is my table, and then it says which one or which table or which query do you want to compare to find the unmatched. I don't need to the queries. I'm just gonna go with my second table. Now it says, please select the field that you want to find the unmatched. So we said we have unmatched in what? In the age, sorry, in the name. So I'm gonna select both on both tables, the name field, and then I'm gonna click on here. It says matching fields. It should be this one. Let's see which value is not a duplicate. I'm gonna click on next. It says, okay, what fields do you want to see in the query result? Okay, it says except for the name, what else do you want to see? Maybe I want to see everything. Okay, I will only click on this one. It will bring all of them here. So now I will see everything. Next, and it says my table without matching my table 2. It says my table. So this is the first table, or let's say the unmatched names in my table, which is the first table. Finish. And you can see the only data that was not duplicate or it did not match the second table was Sana. So this is my query. Let's go on this table. We can see it was Sana in first table that it did not have a match in the last one because instead of Sana, we had what? We had Juan. Is this clear? No? Okay, who thinks it was easy or who understood it? I just want to know how many people understood. Okay. So I'm gonna repeat it for those people who didn't understand. It is totally normal, but I just wanted to see if there's someone who understood it. So I suppose it's not that unclear. Okay, I'm gonna delete the unmatched one. Yes. So I think it was Olin or Lali Khan. Lali Khan. Yes. Okay, Lali Khan. We first had this table, which the name was my table. It had what? It had IDs, names, age, date of birth, salary, and blah blah blah. So in the names we have Ari, Linda, Zana, Lana, Sana. Okay, if we have this table and then we have this other table, it contains what? It contains IDs, names, and ages. So we can either use the name field or the age field to find the unmatched, to find the non-duplicates. اللي غير متكرر. Okay, if we just look at it like this, we can see we have Ari in first table. In second table, we have Ari in first table. We have Linda in second table. In first table, we have Linda as well. Then we have Zana. Here we have Zana again. We have Lana. We have Lana. So until here, they're all duplicates. But you can see the last record, we have Juan in table 2. In table 1, we have Sana. So this one and this one, they're not duplicates. So if I am gonna select, if I'm gonna work on first table, if I want to find the records that are not duplicated in second table, it should give me what? It should give me Sana. So let's go to the query. If I want to find the non-duplicates, query wizard, find unmatched query wizard. Okay, I'm gonna select my first table because I want to find, for example, Sana. I want to find which one is not duplicate in first table. Next, and then you're gonna have to select the other table that you want to compare. So now these are the fields from first table, from my table. You can see it's written fields in my table. And these are the fields in the second table, fields in my table 2, which is this one. What do I want to find? The non-duplicates or the unmatched. Here, I want to work on the field, the name field. Okay, so in the first table, I'm going to select name, and in the second table, I'm going to select name, and then I will click on this button. It says what? Matching fields, name and name. I'm going to click on next. It says, okay, in the first table, we know that you want to compare the names, but what else do you want to show? If I want to show the whole table or all of the fields, but only for the one that's not duplicate, only for the unmatched, I can click on all. But maybe I don't want everything. Maybe I want the ID to be shown, okay? The ID of the non-duplicate, the name I want to show, the age, and maybe the experience. Maybe this is enough. This is only the information that I want. Next, and then my I can change the name, the unmatched name in my table or in the first table, and finish. Now you can see what I have: the ID, I have the name, so it was Sana. This was not duplicate, and I have the age and the experience. Is it clear now? Okay, awesome. So yes. So this is what Query Wizard is. It has these four types of wizards or query wizards. Before we start practicing, is everything clear, or do you have any question about what we took? Okay, that's very good. I'm glad. And before I start letting you practice or share your screen, I want to show you something. Because I think okay, it was here. So we had this last question. Which of the field has width of 8 bytes? So number is correct. We said this is the right answer, but also is date and currency, because you can see here for number, we can have 1, 2, 4, or 8 bytes. So number is correct. For date and time, the size already is 8 bytes. And for the currency as well, it's 8 bytes.